Welcome back, YouTube. I'm Darth, and this is my series on basic infantry tactics for Battlefield 4. There are a lot of good strategies you can use to start a battle in your favor, and I go over many of those in my previous videos. But once the shooting begins, you need to use your brain to gain an edge over your enemy. The World War I flying ace, the Red Baron, said that you shouldn't start a fight you can't win. This is as true in the air as it is on the ground. If you see 4 enemies coming down a hallway and you can't successfully take them, back away. Ideally, you would also not stir the hornet's nest like I just did. Instead, find a better position and try to take them by surprise. It's a lot easier to attack 4, 6, and even more enemies when they are pointing away from you than when they are pointing at you. Now, sometimes you must sacrifice yourself in order to delay enemies so that your teammates have a time to get in a defensive position. In that case, try not to throw your life away, but inflict as much damage as possible while delaying the enemy. Situational awareness is key to winning any tactical battle. It's very easy to be distracted in a firefight. You should always be mindful of the ways in which your enemy is thinking about you. Keep an eye on the minimap. Are there enemies trying to come up, around, and behind you? Even if you can't see them, you should be prepared for the possibility. Don't stay in one spot for too long, or you become an easy knife for somebody else. Try to stay mobile, and that way the enemy can't plan to ambush you as easily. I make a habit of frequently looking at my minimap whenever I'm not actively engaged in a firefight, and I try to keep an eye on it as much as possible when I'm fighting for my life. One of the most common situations I find myself with is an enemy that thinks they have me cornered, only to have me appear behind them. For example, I'm on the 2nd floor of a building, and they're on the 1st. We both know each other's positions, and the enemy is pushing up the stairs aggressively and in force. There may be as many as 2 or 3 coming at me, and I don't want to coin flip when they do arrive. So in response to this threat, I'll jump out a window and come up from behind. This is often very effective at surprising the enemy, as they're still looking for me in the spot they last thought I was, and I'm already a step ahead of them. This works in any situation and any engagement where you break contact. Always try to think ahead of your enemy. It might not always work, but you'll come out on top most of the time. I won't lie, I get excited like everybody else when I'm in a firefight. If I get surprised, if I find I'm suddenly behind their entire team, sometimes I forget to lay off the trigger and control my shots. I suddenly turn into a blood-fueled 80s action star. Initially, this was one of my biggest problems in Battlefield, but it was entirely fixable. One practical step I took when learning self-control was to equip a weapon that fires in burst mode. It taught me to control my shots, if even at the expense of the extreme close-range firefights. It also got me used to firing in shorter bursts in order to control the amount of bullet spread of the gun that I was using. In Battlefield 4, you can practice controlling your shots with burst weapons like the M4 or the M16. It takes some adjustment, but once you get the feel for controlling the shots of your weapons, it will pay off in the automatics. It will also teach you discipline when firing, because you'll simply fail if you try to run and gun and spray it hard at close range. Ultimately, the only one that can decide the outcome of a firefight is you. Practice, careful strategy, and being smarter than your enemy will help you come out in a majority of firefights. It's something I'm working on perfecting to this day, and believe me, I still make plenty of mistakes. That's it, YouTubers, for my series on basic infantry tactics. But I'm going to be doing a lot more videos like this in the future. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.